Hey, if you're a Dodge owner, that check engine light can be a real headache, right? Well, today we're going to take all the mystery out of one of the most common codes you'll see, P0441. We're going to figure this out together and get you back on the road worry-free.
So there you are, just driving along, everything's fine, and then bam, that little orange light pops on the dash. Your heart kind of sinks, and you immediately start thinking about how much a trip to the shop is going to cost. It's enough to ruin anyone's day.
But hey, if you've already plugged in a scanner and you see P0441, I've got some good news for you. This is usually not a big deal. We're going to break down exactly what this code means and walk through how to fix it, and we're going to start with the absolute easiest stuff first. So what is P0441? The textbook answer is evaporative emission system incorrect purge flow. Okay, what does that actually mean? Well, in simple terms, your car's computer has noticed a problem with how your car is dealing with gasoline vapors. It's just not flowing the way it's supposed to. Now, before we can fix it, it really helps to know what we're dealing with. So, what is this EVAP system anyway? Let's do a super quick rundown. At its core, the EVAP system is all about protecting the environment. Its one and only job is to catch all those gasoline fumes from your fuel tank so they don't just leak out into the air we breathe. Okay, so it all starts in your gas tank. The gasoline in there naturally creates vapor, just like water does. The EVAP system is designed to capture all of it. From the tank, those vapors get sent over to a part called a charcoal canister. You can think of it like a sponge that's made specifically to soak up and hold on to fuel vapors. And then, when the time is right, a little valve opens up and the engine sucks all those trapped vapors out of the canister and burns them right along with the fuel. Pretty smart, right? It's recycling, but for your car. Now, besides that check engine light, you might notice a few other things. Maybe the engine's running a little rough, or it's hard to start right after you get gas. Sometimes you might even catch a faint smell of fuel. Any of these sound familiar? They all point to a potential EVAP issue. All right, now that we know how it's supposed to work, let's talk about how to fix it when it doesn't. We're going to be smart about this and check the most common and easiest fixes first. There's a really good chance you'll have this sorted out in just a few minutes. Okay, let's start with culprit number 1. And I gotta tell you, this one is so simple, it's almost funny when it turns out to be the problem. Yep, the gas cap. I'm not kidding. This is, by far, the most common reason for a P0441 code. The whole EVAP system has to be sealed tight to work correctly, and if that gas cap is loose, cracked, or just not sealing right, the system knows immediately and boom, check engine light. So first things first, go check your gas cap. Make sure you tighten it until it clicks a few times. While you're there, take a look at the rubber seal on it. Is it all cracked and worn out? If it looks bad, just replace it. And here's a pro tip. Spend the extra couple of bucks for a genuine OEM cap from the dealer. Seriously, those cheap aftermarket ones can cause the very same problem you're trying to fix. All right, so your gas cap is on tight and the seal looks good. No problem. Let's move on to the next most likely suspect. This little guy is called the purge valve, or sometimes the purge solenoid. It's basically the gatekeeper that decides when to let those fuel vapors go from the charcoal canister into the engine. And well, they fail a lot. Now, this valve can fail in one of two ways. It can get stuck open, which lets vapors into the engine all the time and can make your car run rough. Or it can get stuck closed, which means the vapors never get burned off. Either way, stuck open or stuck closed, the computer's not happy, and it's going to throw that P0441 code. Okay, so we've checked the cap, and we're suspicious of the purge valve. What's the third most common cause? It's the plumbing. The EVAP system has a whole network of little rubber and plastic hoses that carry the vapors around. Over time, especially with all that engine heat, these hoses can get brittle, crack, or even just pop off. A leak anywhere in these lines is enough to trigger the code. So, if you've already checked the gas cap and gave the hoses a quick look over, let's figure out if that purge valve is really the problem. The great news is there's a really simple test you can do yourself. You don't need any fancy tools for this. First, find the purge valve. It's usually right on top of the engine with a couple of hoses and an electrical connector. Then, start the car and just let it idle. Now, carefully pull off the hose that runs from the valve towards the engine. Put your finger over the little nipple on the valve where the hose was. You should feel nothing. If you feel suction, like a tiny vacuum cleaner, that means the valve is stuck open and you found your problem. It needs to be replaced. But what if you've checked the cap, the hoses look okay, and the purge valve passes that little test? Well, sometimes the leak is just too small to find on your own, and that's when it might be time to call in a professional. See, mechanics have this really cool tool that makes finding these tiny leaks a piece of cake. It's called a smoke machine. It's their secret weapon for EVAP problems. What they do is pump a special, harmless smoke into the entire EVAP system. Then they just look for where the smoke is coming out. It makes finding a tiny pinhole leak in some hidden hose super easy. It's really the fastest and most accurate way to find those tricky hidden leaks. So there you have it. You now know what that P0441 code means, what the most common causes are, and even how to test for them yourself. From a simple gas cap to a tricky little hose, you're armed with the knowledge to track it down. So, what do you say? Are you ready to go out there and get that check engine light turned off for good?